Tractors have been essential to farming for over a century, but not all features from the past were as safe as they seemed. Some tractor designs, once standard, were eventually abandoned due to their dangerous or impractical nature. Want to know which tractor features were once deadly? Keep watching to find out 13 of them. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Vintage Harvester. Number 13. Exposed flywheels and hand cranks. In the early 1900s, starting a tractor was a dangerous and physically demanding task. Before the advent of electric starters, many tractors relied on exposed flywheels and hand cranks to start their engines. Operators had to manually rotate the flywheel with a crank, often requiring significant force to get the engine going. However, this process carried substantial risks. The most dangerous aspect was the potential for engine misfires. If the engine misfires or kicks back, the hand crank could snap backward with tremendous force, causing severe injuries like broken arms, dislocated shoulders, or worse. The Fordson Model F, produced from 1917 to 1928, was one of the tractors known for its hazardous hand crank design. In these instances, the sudden recoil could send the operator flying or wrench their arm painfully, making it a perilous task to start the engine. As technology progressed, the introduction of reliable electric starters in the late 1930s eliminated these dangerous hand cranks. The new systems offered a safer, more efficient way to start the tractor without the risk of injury. With the rise of electric starters, the exposed flywheel and hand crank system became a thing of the past, marking a significant improvement in both tractor safety and ease of operation. Number 12. Tricycle front ends. The tricycle front end, common on tractors like the Farmall H and M series, was once a popular design in mid-20th century farming. This narrow front axle configuration made these tractors highly maneuverable, ideal for navigating between rows of crops and working in tight spaces. The two closely spaced front wheels allowed for sharper turns, which was great for precision work on small farms. However, this design came with significant drawbacks. The narrow front wheels compromised the tractor's stability, making it more prone to tipping over, particularly when turning sharply or driving on uneven ground. The risk of rollover was especially high when the tractor was carrying heavy loads or operating on slopes. Operators often didn't realize the danger, and as a result, rollovers were common, leading to injuries and even fatalities. By the 1960s, manufacturers began addressing these safety concerns by widening the front axles, improving the tractor's stability, and reducing the likelihood of a rollover. The more stable, wider front-end design quickly replaced the tricycle-style setup, making it obsolete. While vintage machinery enthusiasts still appreciate these tractors for their historical value and unique design, the dangerous nature of the tricycle front end ultimately led to its decline in production. The shift towards safer, more stable designs marked a crucial advancement in tractor safety. Number 11. Steel lug wheels. Steel lug wheels were the standard on many early tractors before rubber tires became widespread. These metal wheels were equipped with large, aggressive lugs or cleats designed to provide traction in soft, muddy soil. While they were effective on farms, especially in fields with loose soil, they came with several significant drawbacks. One major issue was the rough and uncomfortable ride they provided for operators. Steel, unlike rubber, doesn't absorb shocks, so the operator would feel every bump and jolt, making long hours in the tractor incredibly uncomfortable. Over time, this caused fatigue and, in some cases, injuries from the constant impact. The real danger, however, came from the steel lugs themselves. When turning or stopping, the rotating metal lugs acted like rotating blades. Anyone who got too close to the wheels risked serious injury, especially if they were working alongside the tractor or trying to repair it. Additionally, steel lug wheels were ill-suited for paved roads. On hard surfaces, they offered very little grip, leading to slipping and sliding. This made it dangerous to drive tractors on roads, especially when transporting goods. By the late 1930s, rubber tires became the industry standard, offering improved comfort, safety, and traction on both soft and hard surfaces, leading to the decline of steel lug wheels in farming equipment. Number 10. Unshielded power takeoff shafts. Power takeoff shafts are essential for transferring power from a tractor's engine to various implements such as mowers, balers, and augers. However, in the early days of tractor development, particularly with models from brands like Allis-Chalmers and John Deere in the 1930s, these shafts were often unshielded. This exposed, spinning shaft posed a serious safety risk. PTO shafts spin at extremely high speeds, sometimes reaching hundreds of revolutions per minute. When unprotected, they could easily catch loose clothing, hair, or even a limb, causing severe injuries injuries or even fatalities. There were numerous reports of farmers getting entangled in the exposed PTO shafts, leading to devastating consequences like amputations or other life-threatening injuries. As awareness of these dangers grew, the agricultural industry began taking steps toward improving safety. By the 1940s and 1950s, manufacturers started to incorporate protective shields around PTO shafts. These shields prevented the shafts from coming into contact with anything nearby, effectively reducing the risk of accidents. Today, PTO guards are a mandatory safety feature on all modern tractors, ensuring that operators and workers are protected from the dangers posed by unshielded PTO shafts. This safety measure has been instrumental in reducing the number of tragic accidents and continues to be an essential part of tractor design. Number 9. Lack of rollover protection structures. Before the 1970s, tractors were not equipped with any form of rollover protection structures, making rollover accidents one of the most deadly hazards in agriculture. Tractors, particularly those with narrow front ends, were prone to tipping over, especially when navigating uneven terrain or carrying heavy loads. Tragically, without any protection, operators were often thrown from their seats and at risk of being crushed under the tractor's weight. Many farmers believed they could jump clear of the machine if it tipped, but this was a dangerous misconception. In reality, rollovers happen too quickly for a person to escape, leaving them vulnerable to injury or death. As rollovers remained one of the leading causes of fatalities in agriculture, there was a growing demand for a solution. The introduction of ROPS in the 1970s marked a turning point in tractor safety. These structures, typically simple metal frames above the operator, help prevent the operator from being trapped under the tractor during a rollover. When combined with seatbelts, ROPS drastically reduce the chances of serious injury or death in a rollover accident. Today, ROPS are a standard feature on all tractors, protecting countless lives and making tractor operations significantly safer. The inclusion of ROPS stands as one of the most important safety innovations in tractor design. Number 7. Belt pulley drives without shields. In the early to mid-20th century, many tractors were equipped with belt pulley systems, designed to power stationary equipment like threshers, sawmills, and corn shellers. While this technology was innovative at the time, it also posed significant dangers to operators due to the lack of protective shields. Without any shields, the spinning belts were highly exposed, creating a risk of entangling loose clothing, hair, or even limbs. A single misstep could result in severe injuries. Additionally, if the belt snapped under pressure, it could whip around with tremendous force, causing even more harm to anyone in the vicinity. As safety concerns grew, advocates began pushing for the implementation of shields around these belt pulleys. In response, tractor manufacturers started adding protective covers to reduce the risk of injury. By the post-war years, the belt pulley system began to fall out of favor, replaced by PTO-driven implements. PTO systems were not only easier to protect with shields, but also offered a safer and more efficient alternative for powering equipment. Today, belt pulley systems are mostly obsolete, and safety regulations ensure that tractor-driven machinery comes equipped with the necessary protections, preventing the injuries that were once so common in the early days of farm machinery. Number 6. Minimal operator platforms and lack of seat restraints. In the early days of tractor design, operator platforms were extremely basic. A simple metal seat was often mounted directly on top of the tractor's transmission or differential casing. There were no seat restraints or protective structures around the operator, leaving them vulnerable to serious injury. This minimalist design was a leftover from horse-drawn machinery, but quickly proved inadequate for the demands of mechanized farming. Without seat restraints or enclosed cabs, operators were at risk of being thrown from their tractors while navigating rough terrain. The lack of safety features made rollovers particularly dangerous, as there was nothing to keep the operator securely seated. In many cases, operators could be ejected from the seat and potentially crushed under the tractor. By the 1970s and 80s, tractor manufacturers began to address these safety concerns by introducing more protective features. Enclosed cabs with seat belts and rollover protection structures became the standard. These improvements dramatically reduced the risk of injury and improved operator comfort, marking a significant step forward in agricultural safety. Today, modern tractors are equipped with advanced safety systems, ensuring that operators can work with greater peace of mind and protection. Number 5. Lack of brakes on the front axle. Early tractors, particularly those produced in the 1920s and 1930s, were often designed without brakes on the front axle. While rear brakes were present and could slow or stop the tractor, the lack of front brakes created significant safety risks. Operators had limited control, especially when descending hills or maneuvering in tight spaces. Without brakes on the front axle, the tractor could push forward uncontrollably, especially when trying to slow down quickly. This made it difficult to stop the tractor precisely or maintain control control in challenging terrain. In emergency situations, the absence of front brakes often made the tractor harder to handle, increasing the chances of accidents such as rollovers or collisions. It was especially dangerous when navigating slopes, as the tractor's momentum would continue to build if it couldn't be stopped effectively. By the 1940s and 1950s, manufacturers recognized the need for better braking systems, leading to the introduction of front axle brakes. These improvements allowed operators to have more control over their tractors, significantly reducing the likelihood of accidents. Today, modern tractors are equipped with advanced braking systems, including both front and rear brakes, ensuring better safety and control during operation. Number 4. Non-adjustable drawbars. In the early days of tractor design, many models were equipped with non-adjustable drawbars, the part used to attach implements like plows, trailers, or other farming equipment. Fixed drawbars, while simple, presented significant safety issues. Since the drawbar's position couldn't be adjusted, operators were unable to properly balance the tractor when towing heavy loads. This often led to uneven weight distribution, making the tractor more prone to tipping over, especially on uneven or hilly terrain. The lack of flexibility in adjusting the drawbar's height or angle also meant that the implement being towed could exert uneven force on the tractor, destabilizing it. This created an increased risk of rollovers, which were a major safety concern on farms, particularly when navigating slopes or sharp turns. By the 1950s, as the industry recognized the dangers of non-adjustable drawbars, manufacturers began to introduce adjustable versions. These new drawbars allowed operators to adjust the angle and position of the implement, resulting in better weight distribution and improved tractor stability. With adjustable drawbars, the risk of accidents and rollovers was significantly reduced, making farming operations much safer. Today, adjustable drawbars are standard on most tractors, helping operators maintain better control and ensuring safer operation when towing heavy loads. Number 3. Open-ended tractor rear axles. In the early days of tractor design, many tractors featured open-ended rear axles that were exposed to the operator and workers nearby. These axles, which were essential for powering the rear wheels, lacked safety guards or shields, creating significant hazards. Anyone working close to the tractor could easily become entangled in the moving parts, leading to potentially severe injuries such as amputations, crushed limbs, or worse. The open-ended design meant that loose clothing, gloves, or even body parts could easily get caught in the rotating axle, pulling the individual toward the machine. The force and speed of these axles made it nearly impossible to escape once caught. Many farmers and workers were seriously injured or killed due to the lack of protective barriers around these dangerous moving parts. By the 1950s, as awareness of these risks grew, manufacturers began to design enclosed or shielded rear axles to protect operators and anyone working around the tractor. These enclosed systems prevented accidental contact with the rotating axle, drastically reducing the risk of injury. Today, nearly all tractors come with fully enclosed rear axles, ensuring that operators are safeguarded from one of the most dangerous features of early tractor designs. This change significantly improved safety on farms, protecting workers and enhancing tractor operation. Number 2. Lack of operator visibility. In the early tractor designs, operator visibility was often compromised. Many tractors featured large, bulky frames and minimal design consideration for the operator's line of sight. With low-mounted seats and wide engine compartments, operators had a limited view of the ground and surrounding area. This lack of visibility made it difficult to avoid obstacles, such as rocks, ditches, or even workers on the field. It also increased the risk of accidents during turning, backing up, or navigating tight spaces. In some cases, operators were unable to see where the tractor's wheels were going, leading to inadvertent damage to crops or property. As tractor design evolved, manufacturers began incorporating larger windows, improved seat positioning, and better sight lines. Today's tractors are equipped with enhanced visibility features like rear-view cameras, larger mirrors, and clearer cab designs, significantly reducing the risks associated with poor visibility. Number 1. Poorly designed fuel systems. In the early days of tractor design, fuel systems were often poorly engineered, leading to dangerous safety hazards. Many tractors featured exposed fuel tanks and open fuel lines, which significantly increased the risk of fires. These exposed components made the tractor highly vulnerable to fuel leaks, especially if the tractor overheated or was subjected to rough conditions. In such cases, fuel could easily spill onto hot engine parts, igniting a fire. Furthermore, tractors were commonly parked in barns or near flammable materials, which increased the risk risk of barn fires. A spark from the engine, combined with the risk of spilled fuel, could set off a devastating blaze, often resulting in the loss of both equipment and property. By the late 1940s and 1950s, manufacturers started to address these dangers by redesigning tractors with more secure and enclosed fuel systems. These improvements included better sealed fuel tanks, safer fuel lines, and more reliable engine cooling systems to prevent overheating. As a result, the risk of fuel leaks and fires was greatly reduced. Today, modern tractors are equipped with robust fuel systems that are designed with safety in mind. They feature secure fuel tanks, sealed lines, and advanced safety features to prevent any accidents related to fuel leaks or fires, making them far safer for operators and the environment. These 13 deadly tractor features that have disappeared over time show how far the agricultural industry has come in terms of safety and design. Many of these features, once thought to be standard or even innovative, were eventually abandoned for more secure, efficient, and user-friendly alternatives. Tractor safety has come a long way, and each improvement represents a hard-learned lesson. As we reflect on the past, it's essential to recognize the progress made and continue to prioritize safety in farming equipment design. What do you think? Are there any tractor features from history that you still find fascinating or even terrifying? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to Vintage Harvester for more on the evolution of farming equipment.